Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chioma and this is Chioma Stitches. Today we are going to be sewing a bralette gown with so much effigy. So this gown is going to be having a lot of gathers and layers, and it's going to be having a bralette on the upper bodice. And I am thinking of throwing in pockets because yes, I can be extra with some dresses. So let's get straight into it. So what I have here is a fabric you call DaViva, but it's in plain. DaViva comes with in an Ankara, but this is a plain DaViva. You can get it in any DaViva store. So what I have here is a complete 4 yards. It comes as 4 yards and 6 yards. However you want it, actually you can get it in large quantities as well. So I have a complete 4 yards here. And so what I'm making is going to be very full and flowy. The gown is going to be very full and flowy. And so we're going to be using the whole of 4 yards. Okay. Now if you see the markings I've made here, these are the markings that I'm going to use to cut out each layer of the dress. It's going to have 3 layers on the lower bodice, and of course the bralette, so that's going to make it about 4 or 5 layers because there's going to be a band as well. So we're now looking at like 5 layers if you add the bralette, the band, and then the 3 layers on the lower bodice. So it's going to have like a 5 layer. From the top, the first layer on the lower bodice is going to have gathers. As it comes to the second layer is going to be having more fullness than the first layer, and then the last layer is going to have more fullness than the second layer. So it's going to get fuller as it descends downwards. Okay, so for that reason, this very last layer, this is the one on the down part, we're going to be exhausting the whole of the 4 yards for it. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out this whole 4 yards, and I'll cut it out. Everything will be for the last layer. Now this one is going to be the second layer. So what I have here, I'm going to leave all the measurements in the description box, but let me just mention it here. So what I have here is the first layer. I have 11 inches. Now note that inside this 11 inches, we're going to be hemming it with at least 1 inch. Okay, and then we'll be needing half an inch here to join this to this, and half an inch to join this to this. So at the end of the day, I will show you the calculation in the description box so you can check it out. Okay, so I have 11 inches here. I have 15.5 inches for the middle part, and then for the upper part, and I have 19 inches. Okay, so for this last one, we are using the whole of the 4 yards. For this middle one, we are using 3 yards for this middle one, and then for the upper one, we're going to be using 2 yards and a half. Okay, or 2 yards and 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and cut out this. I'm going to roll it to the end, and I'll cut them out. When I cut it out, I'm going to also divide it into 2. We're going to be having the front and the back. Since I want to add a pocket, it has to have side seam allowance. So this is it. This is the last layer, the middle layer, and the very first layer. And so you see how I've cut it out, and I've cut them in half. So I'm going to go ahead and run a loose stitch on the edges, run a loose stitch on this side, run a loose stitch on this side, and run a loose stitch on the edge here. Those are the places where I'm going to be attaching each other to the one preceding it. So I've cut out the other pieces I need to complete this gown. Okay, so I'm going to go over it a little bit. This is the band. This is the front band. We have it to be 4 inches by 17 inches. Okay, it's 4 inches. Okay, and that's because we're going to, and I cut it 2. There are 2 of them. The front band I cut out 2, and that's because we're going to be using half an inch to join the band to the bralette on the top, and half an inch to join the band to the lower bodies on the down part. We're going to see that as we progress, but I just have to explain. Okay, and then this is the back band. The back band, you can cut it as long as you want, depending on how long you want it to be, because it's going to have elastic at the back. Okay, so that is for the back band, and it is cut on fold. I didn't cut it open, it's just one piece, but it's on fold. Note that. And what I have here is 2 inches on fold by 22 inches in the length. Okay, and this is the rope that we're going to be using to extend, that we're going to extend from the neckline all the way to the lacing at the back. Yes, this gown is going to have a lacing at the back. Okay, so I cut the rope. You make the rope very, very long because it's going to serve as your spaghetti sleeve and also as your lacing rope at the back. So it has to be very, very long, and I cut 2 of it. So the rope is about 80 inches long and by 1.8 inches on the width. So we're going to go ahead and make it into a rope. You're going to fold it and sew to create a rope on this. And then this is going to be the loops. The loops that we're going to be using to lace it at the back. I have 4 pieces of it here. It's going to be 2 on each side. Okay, 2 on each side, so 4 pieces. And for the loops, we'll have it to be as long as this is 5 inches by 2.5 inches. Okay, I'm also going to make it into small ropes that we're going to use to create the loops. That's for this. Now let's move over to the bralette itself. Now this is the piece I need for the bralette, and I have it to be 10 inches by 10 inches. So I cut 4 pieces in total. I'm going to be using it like so to create the bralette. You fold it into 2 like so. You fold it into a triangle like so. Now what you're going to do, you pick up this part of the triangle, this part, and you're going to fold it to meet this one here. And now you're going to cut out this part. So I am going to cut out this part, this side, like so. Okay, now this is what we have left. Now what I like to do is, at this point, I am going to go ahead and take out this pointy part and eliminate it so it does not come out looking pointed. That's what I like to do. Next, I am going to come up here and also cut out a piece of this, a bit of this. Okay, now don't cut it too much. Look at what I have done. Cut out a little bit here, so you can just measure that as much as 4 inches. From the top here, you come down by 4 inches, come to 2.5 here, and just connect it. Okay, and then from the side here, we're going to cut out here. I'm going to go ahead and cut out this part. Okay. So at this point, I can choose to open up here or leave it like that. So this is going to be the bralette. So you need 2 for each boobs because one is going to be the lining for the other. So this is it. I'm going to go ahead and sew here using 1/2 inch. Sew here all the way to this part. So here, so this is the part you are sewing. This initial part, that's the part you are sewing. Sew it all the way with 1/2 inch, and sew here as well with 1/2 inch. And I'm going to repeat the same cutting for this because, like I said, we need 2 for each cup, for each bra cup. Okay, and so I have joined them together. I've joined the cups together. Look at this. So, and I made cuts very close to the seam line, so I opened it up and iron to give it neat finishing. Okay, so this is it. So I'm going to be attaching the rope. This is the long rope that is going to serve as both the spaghetti sleeve and the lacing. Okay, look at what I've done here. Look at how I have passed it in and I'm pinning it all around because I'm going to go ahead and sew all here. So this is what I did. Now the way you place them should all align. You have to be intentional. This one that I have pinned here, the seam line for the rope is facing this way. So this one, the seam line is going to face this way. And if you look at this rope at the end here, I finished off this part very neatly because this place is not going to be concealed inside. But this one that is going to be concealed, I did not bother locking it in. So I'm just going to place it like so. Place this one on top of it and pin on it. And now here are the loops, the ones I'm going to be using to do the loops. Okay, so this is it. Look at this one. I have attached one of the loops inside here facing this direction. So this one is going to face this direction on the other side of the other cup. So I'm going to place it here. Look at this. So I just had a space of 0.75 inch here and I started. So I'm going to move from here 0.75 inch and I'm going to place it like so. And then I'm going to cover it up and start pinning it. And here I've gone ahead to sew it. So So this is it. And the long rope that you can tie and play around with however you want. Okay, so this is it. So I'm going to go ahead. So now to attach the front band, this is what I'm going to do. Find the middle. Now if you are working with a waist of 13 inches, you want to assume, so the waist is going to be 15 inches for half of it. Okay, 13 inches divided by 2 will be 15 inches, so I will have 17 here. So I'm going to be marking out where I'm going to place the band. So I'm going to mark out 1 inch from each side, 1 inch here, 1 inch here. And so I'm going to place this on these places. Okay, so from the center I'm going to pin it, just leaving 1/4 of an inch. I'm leaving just 1/4 of an inch, or you can leave 1/2 of an inch. Okay, and you pin it. From here I'm going to pin it at that, exactly at the 1 inch here. I'm going to pin this here. Now if you have a little bit of excess, you just pleat it in the center. Now I'm going to take this other one and I'm going to place it over this, and I'm going to go ahead and sew. Okay, so I've sewn it. Let me take out the pins. Now look at this. Okay, look at this. So now I'm going to pick this one of the band. Look at what I'm doing. I'm going to pick one of the band, and then I'm going to take the very first layer of the lower bodice. Okay, the first layer, and I'm going to find the middle like so. Take the middle. We're going to find the middle of this band, and I'm going to match this together, and I'm going to pin it. Now what you're going to do now is go ahead and gather this to match the length of this. So to do that, I'm going to pin this like so, and then you pick one of the thread. That is why you make this stitch on this place is very loose. You pick one of the thread and pull on it, and just spread the gather until it becomes the same length as the band. So now I can tie it here with the other rope, just to make sure it does not loosen out. And I'll take this other side and I'll gather it as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and sew this first. Okay, so I've sewn it, and by the way, when I was sewing it, I moved it away from the band by 1/2 of an inch. So from the band I moved away from by 1/2 of an inch here, moved away from the band by 1/2 of an inch here as well. So this is it. Look at how neat this place looks. So what I'm going to do now is top stitch it with the other part of the band to cover up this rough sewing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and top stitch it, but meanwhile I am going to be putting the other band. Okay, now for the band, for the back band. Okay, now now that this is folded like this, if you place it like this, you will know where this front one is this back piece, the band is going to stop on the front piece. So that place where it's going to stop, that is where you are going to place the second loop. Okay, so I'm going to place this loop here because this is where it is going to stop. I am going to place it like so, and I'm going to pin it. So I'm going to be placing the second loop here. The loop has to stop exactly where this one starts. Okay, the loop has to start exactly where your marking is. Okay, all right, so at this point now I am first going to take the band. I'm going to lock this place and secure the loop. Okay, lock here by 1/2 inch for the band, secure the loop on both sides. Okay, so I've secured it here, so I'm going to be turning it inside out like so. Now this, take out the pins. So here, this place is looking neater. So now I'm going to go ahead and fold it in like this and top stitch it on top of here like this all the way here. So I've top stitched it, and this is the wrong side, looking even clean as well. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do now. Now the other layers of the lower bodice, we're going to, this is how we're going to attach it. And I'm going to join them like this. So this is the center to center, and I'm going to go ahead and gather this one to match this length like I did on the other one. Gather it and join it together. I'll gather it and sew it. So I'm going to go ahead and sew, and then I will also gather the third layer the same way. So I'm going to gather the third layer like this, the same way we've gathered here. This is the back piece I have gathered. I've joined the back piece. This is the first layer, this is the middle layer, and this is the last layer, the third layer, as you can see. So look at this, and this is the wrong side. We are going to go ahead and use overlocking machine to overlock all of this to weave it in and keep it clean. So now for the back piece, to attach this band for the back piece, I am going to repeat the same thing, but in this case I am just going to go ahead and sew it. So I'm going to go ahead and join this place together. And so for this back piece, I have completed it. So I've gathered the first layer as well. So this is it, and this is what we have at the band, and this is the right side. Also, look, if you take a close look, you will see that I made 2 lines here. Now this is to have the elastic to gather it. So I'm going to put in elastic here. And so these 2 lines I made here has given us 3 spaces here. I'm going to be inserting the elastic in the first opening and on the second opening. I won't be putting anyone in the middle opening. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass the elastic. So at this point, you are going to just fasten it, hold it with a pin so it doesn't pull everything through. So this is it. I'm going to put the second one. So now I'm going to go ahead and hold this down. Hold it down on this side. This is the back. This is the back piece, as you can see. And there is elastic at the waistline. Okay, and then this is the front piece. This is the front piece, and this is the waistline. Okay, so like I said, I am big on free dresses having pockets to help you move it around, you know, to style it. And I'm going to be putting a pocket on this, and this is the fabric I'm going to be using for the pocket as well. So I folded it into 4 so I can get the 4 pieces I need for the both pockets. So I'm just going to use my hand and trace it, and so this is wide enough. It's even bigger than my hand. As you can see, there's so many allowance around it, so even if it's someone that is bigger than me, of course it will be perfect for them as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out. Okay, now to attach this pocket, so I'm going to come down here from the waistline here. I'm going to come down by 3.5 inches, and I'm going to pick one of the pockets pieces, and I'm going to just go ahead and place it like so, right side facing right side, and I'm going to sew on it. I'll repeat the same thing on this side and on the back piece as well. So after attaching the pocket, I will now join the front piece to the back piece together. Also, I'm going to be putting the zipper on one side of the dress for ease. I've sewn the pocket and I've ironed it, as you can see. So now I am going to place the back piece on the front piece like so, and we'll start joining it from where the loop stops. So from where the loop is, I am going to place this like here and pin it, and this will align here. Because we took our measurement, this place is going to align. Now if this is the place I intend to put the zipper, I will not sew here. I'm going to leave here bare open, and I'm going to start sewing from here like so, and I will sew it down. And so on this other side, I'm going to go ahead and sew there all the way down, and I will hem it and attach the zipper, and then I will put it on the mannequin and we'll see how it came out. Thank you for staying to the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also like this video and drop a comment in the comment section. I'd really like to hear from you. Thank you to all my new subscribers who have joined the family. You guys are welcome. I hope you decide to stay. And if you're meeting this channel for the first time, I hope you decide to subscribe and stick around with us. And for the old subscribers, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I appreciate your support and your subscriptions, your comments, and your likes. Thank you so much. See you all in my next sewing tutorial. You can also check the links in the description box for some other tutorials that have uploaded this week. You can check them out as well. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Bye bye.